It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Mariam Lunge. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
You
love your outfit.
Thank you. Everybody loves it. It's just a top and pants.
So, yeah, it is, but the fabric is...
Oh, yeah. I think it was on my birthday from you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is one of the birthday fabrics I got.
Yeah, so I'm good. I'm fine. I just need to use my platform to talk about conservation without borders, and especially their campaign, Flight of the Vulture. And this campaign really is to bring awareness about the important role that vultures play in our ecosystem, in our environment. For many of our viewers, I know you already know this, but this is another campaign to reawaken our love for vultures and re-educate ourselves about, their role and all the things that we need to do to keep them safe. And that to remind you also that I'll be working with Conservation Without Borders to see how we can do that. So there'll be a movie, a documentary, different things, tools to help conservationists on what to do to protect vultures going forward, because they're so important for our own lives as well, So yeah. That's it. That's
I think you shouldn't get tired of this stuff. Like never, even in the conservation issues, environmental issues, climate change. Sometimes it can look a bit boring, nobody's listening to you, but trust me, somebody's listening. So just keep talking. And just don't be tired. I know you're not tired. I'm just saying, we're just encouraging you to continue,
Thank you. And I love how I'm inspiring each and every one of you in your
Yes, we are going green though.
Yeah. Alaja, Nima Akashat.
Okay, so I had a serious matter to banter yesterday. I remember now. So, the condition of the roads in Festac, total zero, no roads. The entire Second Avenue, all the way from
swimming.
There's nothing, no roads. So we sort of had options on the express, on the Badagry Expressway, that was completed. But now Lagos State has to work on that road. And to go and, before we have an escape, to close the First Avenue gate, break it down and cordon off that road is not an alternative right now. That means you're forcing us into the death traps in Festac to go through it all the way to Alakija, and it's not working. I don't know what the contractors are thinking. I think it's always important to feel the pulse of the people in an area before you begin work. So we have to, I can use the Badagry Expressway all the way, but it's been blocked off, and you can only come out at Doba. Doba has been blocked. And then you get to First Gate. First Gate has been blocked, forcing us to travel all the way down into Second Avenue through Abuja Market. It is not working. Yeah. It's either they put palliatives, meet the road at some point, because to cross out of the link bridge into Festac, the local government chairman, I'm trying to remember his first name, knows very well that he has not represented his people when it comes to road. Last year I was in the hospital, and there was an emergency. They needed to use the ambulance to get me to a lab inside Festac. I was in Festac, but to get to the Amuwo side of town, Murayo, even on the bed, I felt that my condition worsened on that trip. I was just pouring out tears. And to drive it every time is like relieving the trauma. Please, somebody should please ameliorate the roads. You've not walked. You don't need people to come and tell you, say somebody hates you. Do the needful. And Lagos State, please, just do the needful. Before you cordon off, sampled, and there will be other alternatives. In the morning, if my two is blocked, I go through Comfortable. It's bad, but there's a good road at some point, and you get your body, you feel better. You'll be encouraged to continue. Please, let's not treat our people anyhow.
Roads. How are you doing, Tokwe?
Lagosians will now be wishing for Wiki in our, because I was in Abuja, and there is difference between the last time I've been in Abuja this year. I think this is my 4th trip to Abuja, and I definitely can see improvement. Governance shouldn't take so long for the effects to reach the people, and you might not necessarily like the approach of the person, but you can feel the impact. So there's room for improvement in all areas of leadership. And in Lagos, the roads people are complaining. Real estate developers are complaining. It would be unfair for me not to say it because it didn't get to my site. A lot of real estate developers had their fences demolished under whatever ministry that did it. In as far as Ekpe, all the houses that are distressed in Lagos did not deserve demolishing. It is the fence that did not have permit to build that deserved to be demolished in Ekpe. Business people that to build that same fence will cost you ×3 in this economy. You still need to build it back. You will still build it back. Now you will get permit to build it. And I know that they gave grace period for many houses in the city that has not gotten permits for them to process their permits. They've been extending and extending. I wish they gave that level of extension to real estate developers of Nigeria, Lagos chapter, so that developers who have built their fences have time to process the permit, make the payment, because everything is about payment. FIRS is chasing, LIRS is chasing. Yesterday, I got from Ikosiketu. Ikosiketu came to my office and sent me a bill that I have not paid tax. And at the same time, please, let us help businesses. So it seemed to be a lamentation.
I miss our regular banter. Just, hello, how are you? Fine, the kids are good, you know.
Some days it did not affect me, but I just felt the...
we talk about...
Because this banter has turned to hot topic. Let us go on a short break. Because it means I wanted to greet, but I can't greet again. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Sorry. Apologies.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Tinubu, Lula, Jinping, Ramaphosa, others join forces to battle hunger. President seeks National Assembly's nod for 1.8 trillion naira 2025 budget funding loan. What begins on Calabar, Abuja Superhighway. Ex-BPP director testifies against Sirika in alleged 2.7 billion naira contract fraud. Wike okays 3 months arrears of 70,000 naira minimum wage. ICPC tracks 610 billion naira constituency projects in 21 states and FCT. And Ekiti to pay 70,000 naira minimum wage. Okay, which story?
Okay, so major headline. We have developed and developing countries have joined forces to combat hunger and poverty. World leaders have embraced global alliance against hunger and poverty. So this is an initiative by the president of Brazil, Lula da Silva, at the G20 summit that, rounded off last night at Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Our president says this bold and visionary step underscores Brazil's leadership in addressing one of the most urgent and persistent challenges facing our world today. We have 82 countries are members of this alliance against hunger. We have the African Union, European Union, 9 financial institutions, 24 international organizations, and 31 philanthropic and non-governmental entities, totaling 148 as founding members. Our president says that the creation of this alliance marks a significant milestone in our global effort to eradicate hunger and poverty, and also sends a powerful message of solidarity to vulnerable populations around the globe. And it says by fostering collaboration between governments and international organizations, civil society, this initiative offers a comprehensive approach to, world hunger. And he also said that this is also in keeping with some of the things that he is looking to do, with our country. South Africa backed this initiative, and we have, and as I mentioned, all the other unions also backed this initiative. So this is a good one. And let's see how this now plays out physically in our countries, in our respective countries.
That's the reality.
Yes, so I have the ICPC. So the spokesperson for the ICPC, Demola Bakari, was giving us updates on the number of projects that they are tracking. He said about 1,500 projects valued at 610 billion naira are being tracked presently in the country, and that this is the 7th phase of tracking for this year. Said they've done 1,900 projects valued at 500 billion under the 6th phase of the exercise, and it cut across 24 states. But this seventh phase is, you know, 1,500 projects cutting across about 20 states, and the FCT starting on the 18th of November. And we will cut across states like Lagos, Kwara, Niger, Kogi, Kebbi, Kano, Kaduna, Jigawa, Bauchi, Gombe, Borno, Ondo, Osun, Oyo, Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Cross River Delta, Imo, and Abia and Enugu. And they will also be looking at certain agencies, the Northeast Development Commission, the Niger Delta Commission, the National Agricultural Land Development Authority, Universal Basic Education, UBEC, Rural Electrification Agency, and the National Primary Healthcare Development Authority. I'm hoping that, you know, after all this tracking, we will have a clean slate, meaning that these agencies and states have delivered in these constituencies projects. But if not, of course, we should see some prosecution.
Okay, let me take the approved minimum wage. So we've been talking about the 70,000 minimum wage across the state. The minister of the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, has actually approved 3 months arrears payment of 70,000 naira to the workers, and he said it was a way to encourage all the staff, all the minimum to all the staff, to encourage them, saying that the government is really serious about changing the new minimum which has been approved. And this was said by his head of service, Mrs. Grace Adayilo. She said that the move was part of the minister's commitment to the welfare and well-being of the workers. In a similar story, it happened also in Ekiti State, where it's been finally implemented. So Governor Oyebanji approved the template where 70,000 naira is being paid to workers. So I'm happy that more states are gradually catching up, because we read a report a few weeks back that some states have yet to implement.
Until Wike became FCT minister, I didn't see it as a state status.
But it is now.
But he's on top of it as if he's a governor and he's doing more for the people.
It has to. Yeah, I have a story. So the work has begun on the. There's a flag off, actually, because I really sometimes I feel like we're always announcing when the work is starting, but we should be celebrating not when the work starts, but when the work finishes. But this is good news. It's part of the legacy project by of the Renewed Hope agenda. So there's a Renewed Hope Legacy Road project, which part of it includes the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Way. This particular one is very important because it is the Calabar Abuja super highway. It cuts across several states. We're talking from it would start from Enugu Abakaliki highway, go through Cross River, Benue, Kogi, Nasarawa, and terminates at the Apo Abuja. So this particular highway, the first phase, which is what they are starting with, is the reconstruction of the Enugu Abakaliki end of the road, and we're expecting that would kick off right now. The Minister for Works, David Umahi, has signed with he signed on behalf of the federal government with Infused International Limited, and they are kicking off this road project. The timeline, its impact, they say it would improve. One of the good things about this road is it's part of the sub-Saharan. It will be transversing the sub-Saharan local ways that were already existing before. So we know that it would improve inter-trade between the states within Nigeria and even Nigeria and other West African countries. So this is a good initiative. Let's walk it through till the end.
The Punch, PDP crisis, the Magum to remain chair as NWC state chairman meets today. Tributes as Senate holds valedictory session for late Uba. 4 UK-based Nigerian students jailed over street fight. Agents petition NCAA for foreign airlines sell tickets in dollars. Ajayi heads to court as expected, as Aidatwa gets certificate of return. 5 soldiers, 50 terrorists killed. NSCDC agents missing in Borno and Niger State. Dangote refinery begins petrol export to West African nations. And AG uncovers 4.6 billion naira on approved spending in Umahi's ministry. Okay, well, let's take one story.
So let me quickly take the NCA. It's quite short. According to the Punch, the president of the National Association of Nigerian Travel Agents, Yinka Folami, representing stakeholders in the business, have petitioned the NCA, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, on behalf of his members over sale of air ticket by some foreign airlines in Nigeria. He said there's a bilateral air service agreement treaty which Nigeria is a part of, and this prevents foreign airlines from selling tickets in any other currency other than the Naira, except for the US, which has an open skies agreement with Nigeria, and this allows the US carriers to sell tickets in dollars. Other airlines are required to sell in naira for flights coming from this country. But over time, they have joined US, and we don't know the line again, and there's no punitive measure against anybody, and they increased those who are now selling tickets in dollars, further stressing, the search for it and, creating value for it over the naira.
Let's go to a very
we'll do something.
Short break. When you come back, continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. The story.
Yes, this is a sad story coming out from Niger State. So they say a monitoring team of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps was ambushed by Boko Haram insurgents while they were inspecting the national grid installation in the Shiruru local government area of Niger State. This attack occurred yesterday, that was Tuesday, in Farankasa area of Chukun local government area, this Kaduna. They said, so this team consisting of 9 officers, 71 other ranks from various NSCDC commands, they had completed their surveillance activities in Shiroro and they were going back to their base when they were attacked. They also said that the ambush came as the team escorted stranded expatriates found in the bush, in the village, and they were as they were returning from a mining site. And then that was when these insurgents from a hill just pounced on them, over 200. The good news is that they were able to fight them off. But we had some of casualties. We have casualties on our side, but they also had more than 50 insurgents lost more than 50 insurgents during this crossfire. The NSDC operatives, some of them are missing. They said they've put in all that is needed to find them, hope to find them alive. There are so many of them also injured. So this is what has happened. So the NSDC team had gone for that instruction because of the constant power blackouts we've been having due to the vandalism that is happening on that particular infrastructure. And this is what they met on their way back. Yes, this is Nigeria for you. Working hard, 2 steps forward and then 3 steps back. Yeah.
All right, so yesterday, the Senate on Tuesday at plenary paid glowing tribute to the late Senator Ifeanyi Uba, who died July 26th this year. Uba was born September 1971, represented the Anambra South Senatorial District, and he was actually a member of the APC and Senate chairman on the Committee on Downstream Petroleum Downstream. The casket was actually laid at the foyer in the White House wing, directly in front of the Senate chamber. And Godswill Akpabio, that's the Senate president, donned in traditional Isi attire, paired with a matching red cap and dark sunglasses, the same as Senator Okoyemi Bamidele also wore the Isiago attire. Senator Mba's seat in the chamber was adorned with flowers and wrapped and draped in cloth, painted in the colors of the Nigerian flag. The session was opened to non-senators, allowing people to come in and pay their last respects. Obviously, our Vice President, Kasim Shettima, was there. Quite a number of other wives of all the major principal officers were all there. And may his soul continue to rest in peace, because it was actually a really sad day yesterday.
Very, very sad. I saw the pictures on billboards, and I was like, I know this person. Oh, yeah, that's true. He actually has passed on. Yeah. It just makes you more grateful for every moment that we have alive. I want to take the story of 4 Nigerians who've been sentenced to varying number of years, from 2 to 7 years. These 4 Nigerians were involved in a stab attack on the 4th of November 2021 after a 6-week trial that was conducted in October. They've now been sentenced. Now, these are students that are Nigerians, students in Leicester, and one of them was sent to 4 to 7 years. That has the highest sentence, and the 7 years was based on the fact that not only did he violent disorder and attempted grievous bodily harm to the person who was the victim. Thankfully, the person didn't die, but the person survived multiple stab wounds. Another person got 5 years. Lawal got 5 years for the same thing. Rahim got 3 years for violent disorder and possessing a blade article, and Davis Ero was sentenced to 2 years for just violent disorder. So the thing that, why am I mentioning they are different? They are age, they are all young. They are all about in their 20s. Okay. All of them are within less than 20, maximum of 21 years old. They are in their early 20s when they got the sentence, when they carried out the activity, and they were meant to be in school, and they carried out this activity. Now, they are spending years in prison. Aside from that, the way the justice system worked over them, because sometimes we have mob attack, and they say you cannot know who did what, but they knew the person that had a blade. The person that got 2 years was part of them, beaten, but did not have a blade, so the person got 2 years. The person that did the actual stabbing got more years than those that did not do stabbing. Yeah. So it's important that our justice system provides, especially in Nigeria, because we're seeing this work over there. Many people are survivors of this kind of mob attack, and they never get justice, so they feel like they have to carry out jungle justice by themselves or something. So our heart goes out to the families of those that are having to suffer this one, and the parents are probably in Nigeria, and please face your work when you go abroad.
Daily Sun, FG6 fresh $2.2 billion loan. Nigeria orders to benefit from $1 trillion global warming mitigation fund. Mba identifies missing link in educational system. Doctors begin nationwide strike. Oil theft. Tompolo accuses Navy of involvement in illegal oil bunkering. Okay, we still.
Okay, so I took the the doctors
going on strike.
Going on strike. I thought I would have a good update because I'd taken it earlier this week, but it's just a confirmation that the doctors are still on strike and that no engagement has happened. They're still asking the federal government to meet their terms, which is, of course, nullification of the appointment of the new Vice Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, the sack of the chairman of the Universities Council for failure to enforce the directive of the Ministry of Education to nullify the appointments and, increase the age for consultants. So this is the Nigerian Medical Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria, MDCAN, going on this strike, and they had initially given a 21-day ultimatum which has expired before they began this warning strike. I hope that before it extends beyond where we go, somebody should engage them already.
That's true.
Yeah.
COP29 climate talks in Azerbaijan are set to agree on a bold annual financial target of $1 trillion or more to help developing countries tackle the challenges of global warming. But to achieve these targets, COP29 is seeking to introduce some new taxes as a way to get, as one way to get there. And then we had Global Solidarity Levies Task Force. This one is led by France, Barbados, and Kenya. They are also exploring the issue. Anyway, the long story short is that taxes will be placed. There's a particular one, they're saying that they'll be placed on kerosene fuel, private jet fuel, luxury tickets, and frequent flyers, which together could generate 19 billion to 164 billion per year. So that's one way of generating this $1 trillion that will now be given to developing countries on fighting this climate change. So I like the way, I took the story because, a lot of times in Nigeria when we're talking about our own local policies and generating and getting money, we never really talk about how we're going to get the money. So this 1 trillion looks, hey, we're getting 1 trillion, but it's because they are going to be getting it from each and every one of us, depending on your lifestyle. So if you're a frequent flyer, the aviation industry, a lot of people will be seeing a lot more levies geared towards, this fund.
So I have the story. The Chief Executive Officer of Tantita Security Services Limited and former militant warlord, Tom Polo, High Chief Government Okpemu Polo, popularly called Tom Polo, yes, he has accused the Nigerian Navy of being involved in oil bunkering. He said that this one is specific. He said the Naval High Command is frustrating the efforts of the security outfit to secure the oil, and that there's connivance, according to him, foreign collaborators, especially those who are carrying out their criminal activities on the national, national territorial waters, and that he has raised this alarm. He mentioned this when he was receiving the NBA, the national executive of the NBA, led by the president, Mazi Ofam Osigwe, at the Okporoza Warri local government area. And his statement was they are doing their best, but that the Navy is aiding and abetting illegal bunkering activities within its coverage area. He also alleged that the Navy is operating at cross-purpose with other state actors and private security saddled with the responsibility of safeguarding the nation's critical assets. We still have this issue ongoing where majority of the, not majority, but oil bunkering is still taking place at a large scale. So he's called them out. He's accused high-ranking officials within the Navy of being involved in what is going on. And he mentioned how his own company, Tantita Security Services, intercepted a vessel that was carrying crude oil in Port Harcourt. And the personnel of the Nigerian Navy provided escorts for that vessel to get out of the national water territories of Nigeria. So he said the Navy personnel on board and others quickly mobilized to the scene, and they had gunboats and were firing, and the security officials and the DSS were unable to. The story is plenty. I just would like official response from the naval team, because this is one side of the story, so that we have the other side of the story. But there's been controversy back to back on how the kind of volume of bunkering going on couldn't have happened without the involvement of people.
So it's something suspected over time.
Nice to have a proper investigation, and then
let's call out the bad eggs. And
see, I would like that Tantita fingers some of these
officers. Names.
We've always suspected, so give us names.
We have to wrap up, but please, there's a story that caught my attention in Vanguard that I must say. Move on quickly to Vanguard. Experts want Sustainable 6 approval for $2.2 billion fresh loans. Ukraine fires 6 US long-range missiles at Russia. Economy, Nigeria can't afford to lag behind, says Shetima and Sanwo-Olu. And the prolonged power outage worsens hardship in Niger Delta. World Toilet Day, 95 million Nigerians lack access to basic sanitation services. Let me take this Ukraine matter because I'm very worried. So Ukraine, down there, has launched an attack against Russia. And they launched 6 U.S. long-range Army tactical missile system to Moscow yesterday. It comes after Putin specifically warned them not to. Putin has also approved an updated doctrine lowering the threshold for the use of nuclear weapons. This is getting very scary. So now that Ukraine has launched 6 missiles, we don't know how Putin is going to respond to this. But obviously, yesterday, the reports that the missiles were targeted at a military depot in Kharkiv, which is more than 100 miles north of Kursk. Initial reports that the U.S. had authorized the use of their missiles for strikes on Russia have suggested that they were restricted to use it in a certain region. Now, regardless of who approved what, the missiles have been launched, and we are all worried about Russia's response. Somebody should please talk to Putin to please calm down, because we don't want this. Putin has warned yesterday that you will launch World War III. If Ukraine goes ahead to launch those missiles, you're going to start World War III. And I'm hoping
need to break down to
he will calm down. Okay, we have to wrap up. We don't have any more time. Let's take time. Okay, that's all we can take. I was going to take the toilet story from somebody who has that, but we have to run, unfortunately. That's all we can take on Front Page Review today. When we come back, we bring in our guests, a special feature from Stanbic IBTC. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars,
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show. Give for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musiki.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert, and a bit of nightcap.
Thanks for staying with us. Today we're excited to discuss a new offering from Stanbic IBTC Bank called Senior Citizens Account. The innovation solution is designed to specifically for the individuals aged 50 and above, addressing their unique banking and financial needs. Join us on the show to shed more light on this is the country head personal client Stanbic IBTC Bank, Emmanuel Ayihebwa. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Glad to be here.
So tell us, why the need for a citizens account?
Okay, so the senior citizens value proposition is targeted at people when they turn 50. Okay, it's a very crucial age for people. We commonly say you're stepping into the fifth floor. So when you're stepping into the fifth floor, your mindset, your thinking is different, right? So we decided to design something that will address that target group, okay? Because at that time, you are thinking a lot more about financial freedom. You are thinking a lot more about leaving a legacy. You are thinking a lot more about managing your costs, better. You are more health conscious. You're thinking about insurance. So all of this is packaged into a value proposition that we call the senior citizens value proposition.
Okay.
So how is this different from other unique or different from other banking products that we've experienced before?
Okay, so the senior citizen, solutioning for the senior citizen is not new in the banking industry. A few other banks have such a proposition already, but the main difference here is the entry age.
Okay.
You commonly find 60, 65.
Oh.
Is what you find. But based on feedback from our customers, Stanbic IBTC is the number one in pension, right? So based on feedback from our customers, by that age 50, a lot of them are already thinking in the way I just described. Some of them are already collecting their lump sum pension. Some are doing annuity insurance. We responded to that feedback by customers to lower the age band, to make it accessible at a more crucial time in their life. So that's one major point of difference. Right. The other one is because Stanbic IBTC is the only end-to-end financial services industry, organization in Nigeria. The bank is only one of 11 subsidiaries. So we have end-to-end insurance, asset management, pension, all of them. We're able to wrap it all together, okay, which many financial services industries cannot do because they don't have all of those subsidiaries.
Okay,
that makes it very unique.
Yeah, so you also have financial wellness sessions. How does this work and how does this benefit aged people?
Yes, so like I said, as you're getting older, people tend to be more conscious of their health. But as you are conscious of your health, we also now introduce your financial wellness, okay? So there's your physical wellness, your bodily wellness, now your financial wellness. So what we do at those sessions, we have been running it across the country for various organizations. I think we've done about 82 organizations since we started. More than 12,000 people have participated, right? Okay. So we just teach people, because you find out that many people do not even know the difference between a saving and an investment.
At 50, isn't that already too late?
No, it's not too late. Most people don't know. Most people don't know. And the earlier you know, of course, the better. But if you know at that age and you start to practice, you know, some of those things, okay. And I mean, just to mention, financial awareness is not strictly for the senior citizen.
Okay.
Okay. It's a value proposition we take to all of our personal banking customers. Just teaching, you know, how to plan your fund, even if you are borrowing, how do you structure, what's the best structure for you, what's the best interest rate, what are the things to look out for.
Right.
You know, we put all this together in the financial awareness session.
For some people in my own circle, within this age range, one of the discouraging things is the complex ways banking system work. So what's the, how does the senior citizens account simplify banking for people within that age?
Okay, so the fact that you don't need to bother with almost anything makes it simple. For example, you don't need to, you mustn't open with an opening balance, okay? You mustn't worry about, so zero account opening, your debit card is free, so you don't need to worry, okay? If you want a checkbook, it's also free, okay? It comes with a lot of packages like wills, insurance, like I spoke about, there's telehealth. So everything is designed and almost free. So worrying here and there really is not there.
My question would be, how does it require you sit in a bank where one person will tell you, Q, don't worry, and you're tired, you're older, your health is not as good as before, you're made to go through the... Recently, I just had to go and complain about, because I tried to send an email to my bank about a failed transaction, and I did not see a contact point. So I went to the bank, and the queue was endless. And I was trying to tell somebody, I need to pick my mother-in-law from the hospital. I don't have the time for this long queue. Can I just leave my application with you and believe that it will be handled? I said I must stay on the queue. So imagine if I was older. How does it simplify it when these people are, do you have a concierge for them where they can see it, where their matters are handled? Can they send an email? Can somebody meet them? How does it work, really?
Yeah. So if you look at Stanbic IBTC, there's a bit of a difference in our banking to the extent that our banking is mostly digital. Okay, it's mostly digital. More than 99% of our transactions in the bank happen on our digital platform, right? So if you look at, we're also the only bank that have a super app in the industry, where you have your bank, your insurance, your pension, everything on the app, right? So we really do encourage all our customers, including the senior citizens, to use the app and do banking digitally. Okay? There is in there, in the 3.0 that we're about to launch, where you can, you know, practically put in your complaint and it's picked up immediately and handled. And when we do see such people in the banking hall, definitely somebody dedicated to them, spend time with them, guide them, help them download the app, help them set up, you know.
It's about financial security. What measures are you putting in place for people are old, they're worried about, they've worked years for their money, they want it to be secured. So what measures are you putting in place for financial security?
Stanbic IBTC Bank is the only AAA rated bank in Nigeria. The only one. There is no other financial institution in Nigeria that is rated AAA by Fitch. What that means is that, so the Fitch rating measures your ability to meet your financial obligations, short-term, mid-term, long-term. So when you're banking with a financial institution that is AAA, the highest possible rating, you're already sure of financial security, okay? Both in the short-term, in the mid-term, in the long-term, you know. So that assurance is what we put before the customer. Like I said, beyond the bank, right? The pension, we are number one in pension. We are number one in asset management. We are number one in investment banking. Out of 11 subsidiaries, about 6 to 7 of them are number one in the industry. So you're really sure of what you're getting, both in terms of long-term security and even the quality and sustainability of the value offering.
I wanted to know more about the insurance because I know that you mentioned that in this solution they don't have to worry about insurance. When if somebody is watching this show now and the person is clocking 50, at what point do they, is it as I'm clocking 50, I would now open the account, then I will not worry about insurance again because insurance is covered. Can you just break down how this would work for such person?
Okay, so the senior citizen program is for 50 and above. So, I mean, so you are 50, 65, 70, at any age, so long as you are above 50, you can get in. Once you open a senior citizens account, automatically there's an insurance package bundled in there. Okay, so it means that it's not free, okay, but hugely discounted. Okay. Because we have two insurance companies, insurance brokers, insurance in our group. Okay. You understand? I mean, which is the end-to-end I spoke about. So our insurance subsidiary picks it up, okay, and there are numbers you can call. There's telemedicine 247. There are numbers you can call any time of the day, including in the night. Feeling a pain or something, you can make a call and get served, okay? And then if you want someone to sit down with you and plan out, you know, an endowment, health, whatever, consultancy, we also offer that somebody can sit down with you and plan that out. But it's just a phone call away, really, from getting any insurance service that you desire.
Okay, just, you know, to piggyback of what you just said, your financial advisory, how do they help retirees, you know, to plan and manage their wealth, especially when it comes to transferring it to the next generation? Yeah,
so we do that a lot through our pension. Okay. Like I said, our pension is by far the biggest. So there are points of representations that are strictly for retirees and pensioners. Okay. So some of the buildings you see, Stanbic IBTC, it's not a bank. It is dedicated specifically for retirees. Okay. There are pension branches, just like you have the bank branch. We also have pension branches all across the country that you can walk into if you so desire, and have someone sit down with you, make a plan, provide guidance on how you should allocate your funds and plans, you know, for the long term. Or you can also call in. I mean, it's also a 247 call center. Right. You can call it.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Any final words for viewers, just in case how they can reach you to open the Stanbic?
Yes, so you can reach us on phone if you call 0700 909 9099. You can reach us. Or you can send an email to customercare@stanbicibtc.com.
You can enter any Stanbic IBTC bank.
You can enter any Stanbic branch. Anywhere you see the Stanbic logo, be it bank or insurance, you can walk in.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel, for joining us on the show.
Thank you so much.
That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
By 280 or 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take.
I choose
Exactly, close the show. Give for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musiki.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
The empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Thanks for staying with us. So, since the commencement of the operations at the Dangote refinery, springing up in Lekki Deep Sea Port, these 2 gigantic projects are without doubt major good news for the vibrancy of Lagos State. But many residents around that area are very wary of the fact that in no distant time, their serene environments may become chaotic like Apapa Great Local experience. So in a bid to forestall this ugly and unwholesome situation, the Lagos State government initiated an e-collop system, which they also did in Apapa. Joining on the show right now to speak on this development is a special advisor to the governor on transportation, Honorable Shola Giwa, sharing more light on this. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you.
As always.
When I heard e-collop system, I said, the one they did in Apapa did not work. How is the one to do in Dangote refinery going to work? I don't understand what's different between what you did then and now, because we're still having issues. So tell us about this new e-collop system that Lagos State government is doing in Dangote refinery area.
Okay, thank you once again. Thank you for having me. So it's a very simple thing. As a state, we are a determined state. We are calculative in whatever it is we do as a state. We understand that if there's traffic, that means there's commerce. So people come to Lagos because there's peace in Lagos, there's security in Lagos, and our infrastructures are there.
Okay.
So we understand that very well. So I must take you back to Apapa.
Please.
He said the call-up system did not work there. It actually did work.
Okay.
And I think I should take you back to those days where you see trailers. You queue up from the port down to Sule, even beyond as far back as Palm Grove.
Okay.
I'm sure you don't see that again.
Yeah. I can attest to the Sule area.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nima, is it correct?
So what you see now are the tankers.
Okay.
the tankers in Apapa that time did not join the call-off system.
Okay.
And the reason for then was that, the market was regulated.
Okay.
Who was going to take up the payment? So that is what you see. Now, on this, and that was actually a federal program.
Right.
That was the port.
Oh, it wasn't you.
MPA. So we actually worked in conjunction with MPA to do that. And then MPA was not responsible for the tankers. However, in this new space, we do not want what happened to Satellite Town to happen to this area.
Right.
If you understand what I'm saying. So as a government that knows that we have to be proactive, we have to put this system in place that for every single vehicle that will have to come to that Lekki free trade zone, you'll have to come only if you have something to do there. How do we determine that? We work with the terminals, we work with the operators there, the free zones there, to make sure that as a vehicle wants to come, you just don't come to that area because you want to come and look for work. That is what you see in Apapa. That is what you see in Satellite Town. You come all the way from Sokoto to come and load at the terminal. However, the terminal might not even have fuel for you. Yeah. So you just see them cleaning around. So we're not saying for this pilot project, for this place, this prime area in Lagos, we will not allow it deteriorate. Okay. So that's why we put this system in place.
Okay, so I can attest to not seeing containers, but as you mentioned, we have tankers everywhere. What are the real players in the Lekki deep sea port? Is the Dangote refinery?
Yes.
Or like tank farms that we have? Or do you have tank farms on that axis now?
It's only two, Dangote and Pinnacle.
And Pinnacle. So those two of them are the ones playing there. So why is Eto being difficult? Because what you have in Satellite Town is that you have different or anyhow players, too many people to manage. You have just two in Lekki. So what's that impediment? What's the club?
Let me clear something for you. I said in Satellite Town, it is not because we have so many players. It is that there is no system to call them on a need basis. And the explanation for that was that who was going to pay? Is it the tanker driver that will pay? Is it the tank farms that will pay? Is it the marketers that will pay? In a regulated market. You know, the market has been deregulated now. So in this case now, from the beginning, we're saying that this is how to go. And to answer your question again, 79% of activities in that axis is Dangote. So you will see more tankers than you will see the dry cargoes.
Okay.
So whether we like it or not, as a state, we are determined to make sure it works. Because there's no city that cannot fail. And we don't want Lagos to fail.
Yeah. Yeah, so I remember one of the issues with the Apapa one was that like they had to, Nigerians or Lagosians were asking that there should be like a garage where these tankers will stay first, and then when they're called up, they will drive straight into, the Apapa area. In this case, where will all these tankers be before they are called up to move into the area?
So the way the system operates is this. For every terminal or operator there, if you want to come there, the first thing you do is that you upload what you have. That I'm expecting 20 trucks, 2,000 trucks tomorrow. So everybody knows that we're expecting 2,000 trucks. So these trucks, they are coming from wherever it is they are coming from. They go to a park outside the system. So we have several parks, 15 kilometers to the port, to Eleko Junction. All the parks are towards Ekpe 15 kilometers, towards Lagos 15 kilometers, so I don't clog. And then you come in as you are needed. So you first go to those parks, designated park that Lagos State has approved. And each vehicle will have a tag, an RFID tag. And that is what is going to open the terminal gates. Now, the way it is that if you are coming, if you do not go to that park at first, and you get to, say, for example, Dangote refinery, the access gates will not open for you. So the access barrier in our approved park is linked to the one in the free zone. You understand it now? So, for example...
I have to pause you for a second. We're going to come back because I need more clarity on this. But I'm told that TVC News has to link up with to a live event happening again, quarterly ministerial press briefing, Government House in Yola. Adamawa State. So they'll be thinking of others can continue to watch us online on YouTube, and also you can check us out on GOTV and StarTimes. We'll be happy to have you. Continue, sir.
Thank you. So the way it happens is this. So the system is set up in, there's the terminal owner, there's a driver that owns the vehicle, and then there's a call-off system and our own parks. So if you say, for example, you wake up in your house and say, I want to buy diesel from Dangote, for example, or whatever petroleum products you want to buy, you pay them, get your papers, then Dangote upload it into our own system where we can see it, and we schedule it based on the condition of the road, based on the time of movement that we have created, and their need basis. We now schedule you.
Mean that my train station, I mean my gas station needs, I need fuel.
You see,
so I'll say you have to schedule.
Then you get your truck.
So the idea is that, so if you don't allow us to schedule you, and then the road gets clogged, you still will not get to the place.
The reason I'm trying to look at the loopholes, because I can pay somebody this way, just put me in trucks. My station doesn't have any fuel. So can you put me ahead? Can you schedule me ahead? And that's where the corruption happens.
So the scheduling system is automatic.
Okay.
You understand? It's first in, first out. You understand? As you upload, that's how you go out. And that's how it works. And that is the way it's even working in Apapa. Like I said, the only problem we have in Apapa is that the wet cargoes are not involved. You get it, and definitely they will still have to make sure that the wet cargoes in Apapa and Satellite Town also get. Another problem we have in those areas is that there are no parks. Most of the tank farms do not have parking space for them. So that's why they've turned our road, major infrastructure we have, they turn it to parking, and will not. As a state, we are determined to make this work. Everyone in that Lekki free zone will have to. The governor has given that directive that every single vehicle that will come into that axis will have to join this call-off. And we thank God that Alhaji Aliko has given us the much needed support that we need.
So obviously you're still trying to get more buy-in into this. That's why we are discussing it on.
It's more of enlightenment.
Okay.
This is not about buying. This is something you will have to do.
Yeah,
and the state has said
Lagosians also in that area.
We assure this Lagosians that area is going to be safe, so that other people can come. We do not want that area. That is the fastest developing real estate that we have in Africa. So we cannot afford for it
to mess it up,
to fail.
Yeah. So I think that many people are also worried about the cost implication. You have to look at the money. How is it saving money for people, or is it going to cost people more money to jump on this? And if you can explain that, if you can see where the money is, because in my head I'm like
downstream players or what?
No. Everybody that is involved. So the Dangote people, are they going to be making more money by implementing call-up system, or are they going to be saving more money by being on the call-up system? The vendors who are the owners of the truck, is it saving them money, or is it going to cost them more money to be on the call-up system? Where is there money involvement in the call-up system?
It's about time value of money.
Okay.
Optimization of the process. Instead of you getting the road clogged, man-hour that will be lost to negotiations, you cannot put that, you cannot quantify that. You understand it now? So what we want is, we want a city that is safe, that people can drive and get to their destination at a predetermined time. That's the most important. So what is the value of getting stuck in traffic, or the life of someone that a trailer will go and eat, or a trailer that will park on the road, or a tanker that will park on the road because it doesn't have anything to do. Someone is going to his house after their work and run into it. So it's about value of money and time.
So what's the consequence of the truck driver that decides to violate this rule?
Oh, of course, last mile is there now to arrest them.
Okay, I wanted to even ask if you had a task force, because
we don't want to do task force, you see. So the practical, or rather the purpose of LASMA is to educate, enlighten, manage traffic, and then enforce the law. So LASMA is on ground there. They are well equipped, and the local government chairman is very wonderful man, has really helped us. Mr. Olowa really helped us, giving us a place, and he's even giving us LASMA place to stay. So there's no that issue of where are they going to stay, stuff like that. We have all that.
When you say LASMA, you know why I wanted to say task force? Yes. Because LASMA is Alakija. Last night I couldn't pass Alakija to go home. This morning the trucks were still on the road blocking traffic. It was Old Dojo Road, even with LASMA present. Okay. I'm wondering, Because they will come and LASMA will direct the traffic, and we will sit in the traffic hours on end. But thank God we know road through Navy Town.
Like I said, let me get it to you.
How effective is the LASMA option?
So let me explain. You see, if you say go and walk, tell your staff to go and do something, you will not give them the enabling environment to work. It is tough for LASMA to control traffic in that Agboju area. How do you stop? Who do you stop from coming to Agboju? So the first thing is that we have created a barrier that if you do not have anything to do, you should not come there. Now let me explain. People will still come. Some tankers and containers will still come.
Yes.
However, they will be deterred because you are there maybe for a week and you don't have anything to do, because your RFID tag will, even if someone calls you and say, come and carry this job for me, you will not be able to access that terminal too. So people will now know that any truck that that is not there, you understand, officially, will not be able to load, so they will be determined. And that way, LASMA will now be able to know, like they are doing with the containers. If LASMA takes up their phone in Apapa and Tinkan, they can check if a particular container has call-up. So that's exactly how it's going to be done here. Right, so they will just tap their phone, check the app. This man is not supposed to be here. That's why it's been easy for us to manage the dry cargo in Apapa. So now we'll be managing the dry cargoes and the wet cargo the same way.
Okay. I mean, I'm happy for Lagos State government, and I'm happy that this is being implemented. Our only worry is that somehow people's bad behavior kind of find a way of corrupting the system with good intentions of government, because we know government has good intentions.
Trust the government.
We are trusting the system.
And trust Lagos State. Have we ever failed?
The system, we know. But Nigerians sometimes behave in a way that is quite worrisome. So I'm hoping that indeed they adhere to this call-up system and then they don't cause trouble.
So I must tell you also, we've been on this for over 2.5 years. Since the construction of Dangote refinery. That's when we have been on this. So it's not something we're just starting up now.
Wishing you the best, Mr. Giwa. Thank you for much for the show.
I hope we won't have to call you because human manipulation has taken over.
So, I can tell you for a fact, because it's computer based. Okay. So there's no way. Technology based, remove as much human interactions as possible.
Thank you very much, Mr. Giwa. I appreciate you, Engineer Giwa, for coming today.
I'm not engineer.
I know the engineer. Honorable. Let's go on a short break now. We'll come back, bringing our special guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, Then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take.
I choose
to close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musiki.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym though, you're getting fat. Cricket.
She says she does show dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You still what's his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay tuned. Pure Entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Let's talk about men, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things. Well, yesterday was International Men's Day. And somehow, for whatever reason, there was a lot of pomp and noise about it. And people are saying, how can ladies of your view not discuss men? You know, because obviously when it's International Day of Women, we always celebrate women. So we're going to take a few minutes just to appreciate the role of a man, who they are, fathers, brothers, husbands, sons, uncles, you know, brothers-in-law, you know, uncles-in-law, grandparents, great-grandparents. The role of a man is so important in our society, and it's important for us to take out time to honor the men in our lives in different categories and celebrate them for the work they do. And you can call us on the numbers on your screen, 081-270-53687, 091-390-7648. You can also send us messages on X and on YouTube. We'll be happy to read your messages. So, the men in our lives, the men in your lives, the fathers.
It's like, I had a flash just now because yesterday I took a nap, a 10-minute nap. And I woke up from that nap as if I saw Morel knocking me down. It's International Men's Day. I did not do anything. I was not defending myself because I just posted pictures of my husband and myself celebrating it for Men's Day without necessarily saying anything. Every day is International Men's Day. We affirm and pray for our husbands, the men in our lives, our fathers, our brothers, every day. So I think we'll do it. But because, you know, the way the society is wired, we loud it more when it's Women's Day. And so when that comparison is done, it seems as if we don't do enough for our men. I've seen a lot of some radio stations talking about how women went silent yesterday, but that's not true. A lot of people did do every day. Yesterday I was trying to rest.
Really? I didn't.
My dad came and said, I want vegetable soup. It's International Men's Day. I cook them now. It means I was celebrating him. I could have said, not today, maybe tomorrow. But immediately you do what you need to do. So
you know, for me, the celebration for International Men's Day, for me, is like when Tokwe is about to celebrate her birthday compared to when I'm about to celebrate mine. Tokwe starts celebrating hers.
Week ahead.
Months ahead. From the moment we enter the year, she starts celebrating. A lot of women are like that. When it comes to our own, we celebrate. We make the noise and then put the men under pressure to do something for us. Men are more like me, which is, I know this day is going to come. It does not mean that I'm not getting any love. I may not be screaming it and shouting it, but I know that those who really matter to me would, on that day, would show up for me. So that is it. So we love our men, and the men in our lives know that. We show them the love. You know, we appreciate them. And I like what you said. Every day in my house is International Men's Day. I love my husband. He's such an amazing man. My son is growing up to be this young man. I can see a glimpse of the sort of man he's going to be. I'm so proud of, you know, the steps that he's taking. He's grown so tall in a short time.
I can't wait to see that.
I'm telling you. And he's such a handsome young man, you know. I keep telling him, I say, you see this fine. Well, nearly as tall as I am. He's definitely taller than she is. Like, I hope that you add character to these looks, you know, to make it so. And then in the times that we're living, things are tough. And the Nigerian society is that a lot of the burden falls on the man. And we have seen, and we're seeing many men constantly show up for their families, no matter the situation. And we're so very grateful to these men, and we're so proud of you, and we celebrate you today, especially.
Nice.
Yes. So I feel like I feel a bit guilty because I actually I got my team designed a flyer for International Men's Day and sent it into the group, so I knew, but I did not carry out any specific activity to celebrate my husband or the men in my life. It just did not occur to me. And I guess it's because they are just so used to doing their own thing. Yes, they are used to doing their own thing. And so we don't have that consciousness of we celebrate, because when it's Mother's Day or International Women's Day, activities are carried out to celebrate with intentionality the women, but we are not having that consciousness for men. So I think that it is important. Banks should start doing it, companies should start doing it, TVC should have done something like put banner the way we do International Women's Day. Let's give, because if we don't do it, it doesn't occur. Because we did flyer in my office, but I did not even take it further because it just becomes a norm.
So CEO will write you now, because they put it on the
in the group
reminder yesterday.
Oh yeah,
they did. I got a reminder in the morning from their group.
that we should celebrate. So I'm guilty as charged that I would go back and do it. I made conscious effort from like about 3 or 4 years ago to start celebrating International Boys Day because of my children, and I always ensure I take them out on International Boys Day because they get to see a lot of things being done for Girls Day. So I'm doing that, but I need to do more for the men in our lives. So I'm going to do something today as a compensation for the fact that I did not acknowledge International Men's Day. But there is a lot that should be said for the men's mental health. We really need to we need to love up on our men a lot more because they don't know. We don't have a routine for it. So I went for an event in Abuja and it was predominantly women. And a lot of women there was a lot of unburdening, sharing. Oh, my mom did this, my dad did this. One lady spoke about how her mom, she falsified, she passed her exam, but at school said that she talks too much in class. And because she knew her mom had complained about it, and her mom is a teacher, she covered it and sort of like falsified that she doesn't talk too much. And of course, your mom knows you talk too much. So when they say he doesn't talk too much, you know that it's false. It's false. And her mom brought her to school, primary school. I mean, JSS2, beat her in school, announced it, paraded her, and this is someone in her late 30s, but she's still relieving, like she was crying as she was saying it. So women express their traumas. Men go through it and they don't even understand. So my husband was in that meeting and it was largely women. And it was one day, and all of us were there hugging each other. So we have created a safe space for women to cry, to hug, but can we give men, can we allow our men to breathe? You know, let them cry, let them be hugged. Hug your husband, hug your son, let them feel like it's okay to, unveil it. But there's a bigger, safer space for women than we have created for men. Okay. And I think that if we encourage men to
can men create that space? No, this is not even about creating it. We think it doesn't exist. That's the problem.
Yeah, it does happen.
The way they express theirs is totally different from ours. Wow. And so ours is more dramatic, it's seen, is everything. But men have their easing out. Presently, I have an amazing man, a provider, someone who's an amazing son, father. I tell him, I say, take your son. I'm done with this boy. It's now time for him to see what it is to be a man. I'll be like, no, he's my small son. Protect him. He's so protective. At this, I say, 8 years. Take your son. No, if you are going anywhere, carry your pikin, make it they see you. Because I saw my husband with his father when his father was bedridden. I saw him with his mom when his mom was bedridden. He doesn't even remember that he's a son, not a daughter. He takes it on, and I always say to his children, I really need you to see this part of your dad. See how it takes on. When my father-in-law fell into coma, I did not see my husband for 9 days. He came to the hospital in his suit and didn't change for 9 days. I was taking clothes to him. I want his children to see that how he cares. And same when I am in the hospital, because I had to go a lot of times with my pregnancies. See, I want them to see that part, how it is to provide. Not just put money, but you're there, you're showing up. Part. I need these children to see that. So, men, what they usually do is, they want to cry. They want to cry their cry in their corners. Or like women want to cry and let somebody say sorry. They want to, I remember that I came to the hospital one time, I was saying, you need to sleep. I'm seeing you, but you need to sleep. And we had a fight over, you need to sleep. The whole hospital hear us. Over, you need to rest. You have 6 other siblings. Let somebody else take your place. And there was a major fight over that. So they do their easing out the way they do, but let men now come and tell us more about how they do these things, because we women, we tend to
I would like to see men actually come out more to talk to each other, because I feel like many men are too quiet. We have lots of various conferences where women gather to learn and unlearn and relearn and stuff.
So they don't need to do like our own.
So it doesn't, so you don't have to have a conference.
Tell us how you do your.
But find a place where you can.
I like this conversation because I've been, thinking about it for a while myself. Like, where do men congregate and talk to each other? And I just realized, first of all, we need to understand that men are different from women, and how they do it will be different. I've seen situations where, the men find like a sport that they love and things like they find, so for them it has to be a situation where they meet for something fun, and then they can talk about whatever else it is that they need to talk about. But to make their issue the reason why they meet up, they won't meet up.
Unlikely.
Very unlikely, they understand, men are raised and have this understanding, that this is the world, it comes with its challenges, and we're here, we are warriors, we fight it, So what they're looking for are places where they can ease out of this, is where they, where they take things easy. So you find these areas where they go for the fun of it, and then conversations about real-life issues come up. And one thing I also notice with men, especially when they're talking about issues, they talk about it in a jocular manner, like they're laughing at each other about, but they're actually telling each other, giving each other, deep things. They're sharing experiences. They're talking about solutions. They're sharing articles that they have read and shows that they have seen to help each other. The younger ones, so I used to be like you, where I used to be on my husband's case. You need to be with your son more. You need to be with your son more. And for me, is that I wanted it to be done exactly at the time that I thought it was. Yeah, but they're doing a lot of things now because the boy is even older to understand that, he wants to be with his father. Yes, for them, it's like, you don't have to sit down. You don't have to put a timetable on us. We will get there. So don't worry. Your son knows, one, he's the son of his father. Secondly, they will have the opportunity where he will see a lot of things that his daddy is doing and he will pick it up as well. We need
to wrap up on this, but to wrap up, I'd like to always end up with Engineer Jibola Chinese message. It's fairly lengthy, but I'll read it because I think it's quite deserving of the men we're celebrating today. He said, men are a species created to protect other creatures, including environment. Men work tirelessly to fetch for their families, nuclear and extended. A warrior that is willing to sacrifice his best for the rest. Daring the danger to protect his family. We inspire, we lead and love. We are the pillars of strength and fountains of wisdom to all amazing creatures called men, whose kindness and uncommon support is second to none. Let us raise awareness about our health and our well-being. Let us address critical issues like mental health, toxic masculinity, and other common men's health issues. Let us be our brother's keeper. Sharing is caring. Let us raise our men to care for women and themselves. Let us also be positive role models, and let us continue to inspire others to various spheres of life. Thank you very much, Engineer. I think this is really apt to end this segment. Congratulations again to men. Happy International Men's Day. Let's go to a short break now. When we come back, we bring in our guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly.
with us. So on Wednesdays, we like to celebrate women who are doing amazing things. So today, our guest is a master storyteller who empowers others to share their stories. Her company, a publishing company, has helped over 40 clients become published authors through courses, coaches, and even ghostwriting services. She's also the founder of the Christian Storyteller Prize, a prestigious award recognizing Christian-centered stories. She's a best-selling author with 6 titles, filmmaker, and founder of Laju Iren Films, a production company creating content. Welcome with us, Laju Iren. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
So, I mean, you're a mommy Jew. I didn't even realize. You know? Yeah, a real, and you're probably called PL. People, you obviously, you lead a team. And just tell us a bit about your vision into the company you run. Storytelling, filmmaking, publishing company. That's quite a bit for one person. And you're still pastoring a church, I believe, or what is leading. So how do you put all that together?
This is the question that's supposed to make me a billionaire. Because if I had $1 for every time I was asked, I would be very rich. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I feel very honored to be here with the ladies of your views, sharing my views. I love stories. I wrote my first piece of poetry at 8. Wow. It was for my grandpa. Oh, grandpa, up in the sky. It's just too early to say goodbye. My dad's a doctor, but he loved writing. So I think I kind of picked that up. So for me, storytelling was, first of all, a hobby. And then it became a career. I did mass communication for both my degrees. Worked in the press for about 5 years. But then it was also a calling because as a pastor, you can pastor people on Sundays, but you have social media pastoring them Monday to Saturday. You have movies pastoring them Monday to Saturday. You have friends, even that same Sunday as well. So I think one thing I really desired to do was to impact people and change lives through stories. And I think stories have a way of changing our hearts or changing our minds by targeting our hearts. So there are some concepts you never agree with. Nobody would have ever told you that you will root for a robber. But if there is a movie where, if there's a movie like Money Heist, where you can see their feelings, their emotions, the reason why they're doing what they're doing, we tend to be empathetic when we understand people's stories, even if we don't have so much in common with them. And I think that is one reason I love stories in particular, and I try to empower other people to tell theirs, as well as telling stories of my own.
Okay, so I read your profile, and you're into filmmaking.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm wondering, how do you delegate certain parts of you?
Yes.
Or are you fully present when it's filmmaking time? Because we have a filmmaker on set as well, and she will disappear for a while she's producing. So do you do that, or do you delegate? Do you co-produce, co-direct, or do you fully do that?
Okay, so I'm executive producer of my team, Nigerian Films, but I'm also the main writer. So for every film I've made, for example, this Christmas we're releasing 3 movies. I wrote all 3 of them. So I'm usually the main writer for the film.
Congratulations.
But then I have people on my team who are producers. I don't direct because I think as a producer you are running up and down looking for money, making sure. So I don't work as a director, but I generally write because I have time to really put myself into the story and write.
General overseer.
That's one way to put it, Mariam. Yeah, but generally I write and then I do some producing as well. But I have really good producers. I have a really good producer that I work with often, and then really good directors. So my last film, Mistakenly Yours, I worked with Bjorn Steven on that as director. So directing is not really my strength, but I'm a good producer, I'm a good writer. And then I generally have, like she said, I'm a general overseer. So I think there are parts of it that are delegated, and there are parts of it that you have to do yourself. For example, marketing, even if you're delegating, you still have to be present because you're like, the money must come out from what we invested. So
does the money come out when you did this movie?
It will come out. It will. So currently what we're doing now is we're trying to find alternative modes of distribution for film. So many times what you do is you either go to the cinemas, or you go to a streaming platform, or you do free-to-air like YouTube. And I have a movie on Prime. I haven't gone to the cinemas yet. My husband did with his last film. I also have movies on YouTube. But one thing I've been working on is alternative modes of distribution where you can sell directly to consumers without it being a long-term subscription-based model. So, for example, we have something called a virtual cinema, and that is something we've been doing with our films. We did that earlier this year with my film Mistakenly Yours, directed by Bjorn Steven, and we were able to make really good numbers from that, where we sell directly. See the numbers? Yes, I think we made about 26M from that film in particular, and it was more or less everything coming to us and then us. Fantastic. So but now we're doing that again, 3 movies in one. It's on my t-shirt. You can get the tickets on my t-shirt in case you missed it.
Yeah, so the thing with when we talk to women is we're always asking that the first question Mariah asked, which is, how do you do it all? Like, how do you do it all? But you started by telling us that writing was what you started with.
Yeah.
But when you moved into movie and being in Mommy Gio, how did you? And that's a thing.
It's a lot of work.
It's work. How do you compartmentalize the responsibilities that come with being Mommy Gio and doing a movie?
Yeah.
And managing those relationship dynamics where you are demanding excellence in how they deliver work, but yet you're supposed to be Mommy Gio, who is compassionate and feeling for. So how do you balance that?
You've asked a hard thing. So I think, first of all, I've learned not to define myself by what I do. I have a nickname called A to Z, which is different letters of the alphabet, then larger. But so even though I do a lot of things, I learn not to define myself by what I do. And for example, I had not just my baby's one, but when I was pregnant, I wasn't really doing a lot. So if I was defining myself based on what I had made or what I was doing, then I would have felt like I wasn't a complete person. So I define myself based on who made me, who created me, who died for me. And then I now take, so when I do that, there is a good foundation, and then I kind of take my bearing from that. So, but if I'm doing business, I also learn to have those boundaries in place. So if I'm employing someone to my team, you need to have those interviews. You need to say, these are my expectations. So that it's not a situation where you misbehave. And then, but I think just really, if you're a kind person, you're a kind person. If you're a disciplined person, you're a disciplined person. And sometimes you have to wear different hats, but it's the same head. Just really understanding who you are foundationally. And then as time goes by, you figure it out. But some things I've done for a very long period of time. I've done ministry longer than I've done film. By God's grace, I ministry just done 12 years. I've been pastoring my husband for a bit. But as you grow, you learn.
So as a Christian producer,
yes, ma'am.
Do they kiss in your movies? Do you have what kind of stories do you produce? Because we've seen a pastor who's mushy and some movie. How
did we get here?
Just saying. So I'm just because since we just have what kind of movies are you? Would you not produce those kind of movies, or if it's important to your stories, would you tell those stories?
So I'll speak for myself personally, because I know that people are different, individuals are different. But if I've made a film where people have kissed, it was people who were married. So I personally don't ask actors to kiss in my films.
Okay.
So that's a personal. That's something we do as a company.
Just checking.
Okay, so I could listen to you talk all day. I mean, you're interesting to listen to, and I can see why you're a storyteller. And I just want to know, were you always just so confident, so sure of yourself, so sure of the steps that you're taking? Because you come across that way. Like, finish school and when I did this, this is working out. Or did you have challenges? And what has helped create this person that, is so enjoyable to listen to now?
I was about to start singing and say, I've cried so many tears. But I think I like the conversation you guys were having about International Men's Day. Because when you look at a woman who's strong, you most likely have men who have contributed to that, and women as well. So, for example, a major part of my self-esteem is largely my dad. My dad had 3 girls, and he never made us feel like we were less than. He still is that dad. He's still very affectionate, very expressive. He tells you, I love you 10 times a day. There was a story my husband was giving about how he was sitting with my dad, and my dad had pecked me like 3 times. And he came and pecked his own because I was like, So there is that. And then, of course, thankfully I married well. So I married somebody who really does support me. So I think that helps. But I think at the basis of it is really knowing whose you are. Because no person can really be responsible for your confidence 24/7. It has to be a God thing. And then when you cry, like concerning this work now, why did I start virtual storytelling? I received a deal from a streaming company that was not up to what I had made my film for. So I was like, we have to find another way. And I think that's the beautiful thing about adversity, because it gives us the opportunity to dig deep in and see that there are more opportunities if we look for them. So it's a lot of things. God, the right people, failing and standing up again, and knowing that last we'll win.
I'll come to you in a second. One of the things I like about your story is that you're homegrown. Covenant. That's Covenant University for the first degree, Covenant University.
No, I did my second degree in Unilag.
Oh, okay, well, okay.
Yes, but I'm very proud of.
So,
I'm very proud of Covenant.
yeah, because the reason why I want to highlight that because we're in a season where everybody just feels like getting education abroad is the only way for success. Tell me about that, your own experience, or the steps you've taken in your career. Yeah. You think maybe working and schooling in Nigeria probably helped you to push forward?
I think that's beautiful. I think I've been privileged. For example, Covenant University gives you the opportunity to have that global education, but still have that homegrown, I understand the way Nigeria works kind of situation.
Homegrown values.
So I am grateful for that. Sorry, I was a bit distracted.
I'm sorry.
But I am grateful for that. I'm grateful for the primary school I went to that was not really a spring all over the place kind of primary school, but had really good education. I went to Federal Girls Benin for secondary school. So Nigerians are some of the smartest people in the world, and to get them to teach you, I think that's really, really brilliant. But it now comes down to understanding, first of all, what global standards are, and then understanding the context. Here, for example, I was taking a film class online, and the lady was talking about how to do a low-budget film, and she talked about how she only had $1 million for...
like, try 100,000.
Yeah, so it was low budget. And I was like, Auntie, I can't
relate.
Yeah, but when you live and work here, you meet some of the brightest minds. And then I'm grateful also for the internet because it gives you the opportunity to benchmark and learn from a different...
Let me go on a very short commercial break. When I come back, we continue the conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still talking to our guest here. So tell us, Laja, about this, your movies. How many? You have 6 titles, right?
Yes.
And which ones are new and which ones are old?
Thank you so much. So my newest film is Down for and the Rose. It's
Danfo.
Danfo and the Rose.
You said it was as if it was an English name.
Okay, it's Danfo and the Rose. So that's my newest film. It's starring Sam Dede, Michael Dapper, Dunia Day, Sunshine Rossman, Sheon Ajayi, Mr. Macaroni. And it's really a story about how dreams can come true regardless of what part of the world you come from. So we're releasing that for the first time ever. This Christmas on a virtual cinema platform, and the beautiful thing is that you can watch it from anywhere in the world. But we're not just releasing that, we're releasing 2 other movies. So Mistakenly Yours was out for a limited release in Easter. Last Easter is back now. Loving Amanda is on Prime, but is also back now for people who may not have a Prime subscription. So we're releasing those 3 movies for the price of 1, and viewers can see it from anywhere in the world this Christmas from December 24th.
We'll tell you, we'll send you a bill for that.
Yeah. But let me just talk fast.
It's 1.5 million naira.
Only.
So because
to pay.
Let's focus on
Christmas movie 24.com. Fast. I said it fast.
So I wanted to ask about how you deal with piracy, because as you are sitting here, I'm just hearing your virtual cinema for the first time.
Yes.
Some of us don't know these tactics. So I'm wondering, with these virtual cinemas, how do you protect yourself from this kind of...
That's such a beautiful question, and I'm glad you asked. So one of the reasons why we do a virtual cinema is because it's a limited release. So sometimes before the pirates have time to think about how do we hack this thing, the release is already over. Because what we do, so for example, even though we are releasing from Christmas Eve, we're selling tickets now. So it's the people who will be on board on our platform. We have everybody's email addresses and they have their special login details. But we also work with a system where we have digital rights management. So if you are watching on our platform, your email address is literally dancing across the screen. So if you screen record, we know who you are, right? But there's also tech that kind of avoids people from even screen recording or... I truly believe that there are ways around piracy if you get the tech right and if you're intentional enough about figuring out how to deal with it.
Tell us your relationship with your husband, and how is he also involved in production?
So my husband actually runs his own film company. Yes, it's called Narrative Entertainment. They had a film in the cinemas this year. What About Us?
Oh, nice.
Hits over 100.
So if you just be in the house and you're just one is doing one movie, one doing.
Yes. So the thing is, we are one in the marriage, and we enjoy that. But I think the beautiful thing about being in a marriage where you enjoy, we just clocked 10 years this year. So
congratulations.
We have the thank you so much, ma'am. We have the opportunity to really just explore different parts of ourselves and support the other person when they are doing something. But when it comes to marriage, when it comes to ministry, when it comes to the children, we always kind of work together. But like he's a musician as well, so he also does like a large number of things.
Can we talk about ministry, please?
Yes.
Like, how did you get into it? Where were you traveling on your way to? And then the Holy Spirit fell. Yes, what happened? The Holy Spirit fell and your eyes were blinded, and then 3 days later you opened your eyes, or you've just always been a Jesus baby from the moment you were born?
No, I don't think anybody can be a Jesus baby from the moment you were born. You have to at least have that encounter and make that decision. But I think it will still lead us back to covenant. I met my husband when I was in 100 level. He was in 200. He was taking a prayer in chapel. I was like, who is this short, cute pastor that can pray very well? So that was, what year was that? It's a long time ago, 2007 or 8. And then he started what is now Celebration Church. 34 campuses now today, to the glory of God, and we're still getting to 1 billion souls. My husband. On this show, no, but he's been on, I think, the Saturday morning show.
Okay.
And then he wanted to start a youth ministry called the Triumphant Youth Fellowship, and he asked me to join in. So I was part of that youth ministry. But we weren't even in a relationship then. As part of that youth ministry, we were working together. We also had a devotional, Triumph 30, that's still in existence today. And then when we were about to graduate, God told us that it was going to be a church. Okay. So shortly after graduation, so we graduated 2011. Church started 2012.
Did you start dating?
We started dating 2011, just before we graduated.
Keep tabs on.
Yes, and then we got married 2014.
Nice.
So yeah.
So the thing about being you still have young kids and you are doing so many things. I mean, many people watching tend to always find it a struggle to be able to. They feel like they have to. Yes, you have to. And you touched on it briefly, and I want you to sort of expatiate on the thoughts of you raising your, not doing much and still feeling complete while raising your baby, while being pregnant.
I think that when we talk about women being free to do what they want to do, there's also the aspect of letting women who want to just raise children, to just, if that's what they want to do. And I don't think I'm better or more. So I think if there's a woman out there who feels like her call and her primary assignment is to raise children, and I think that's a good thing to start. But the truth is that just because one is wearing makeup and looking, doesn't mean we are not all struggling. We are all trying. We're all trying to kind of figure it out. And many things I do is because I have a great support system. My parents are in my house every weekend because I pastor a campus as well. So they're in my house every weekend to help with the children. Children go to church with them, our church as well. So I have a great support system. I have really good staff that are very helpful. I have really good family, so I think it's just really figuring out.
You're on top of the world, I can see.
Yes, but sometimes I'm not always like this. I'm not always this put together.
Please tell us the times when you are not put together.
It doesn't look like
yes,
it doesn't look like you have a problem in this world. Like everything's just perfect.
Please, and how you overtake it so that I can encourage somebody.
Okay, well, if I'm going through a lot, I cry, I pray, I eat, I sleep. When you wake up, the world is better.
You get back together.
Or at least you have like clearer eyes to know. Okay, this is what I ought to do better. But everybody does have challenging times. I just don't feel like everybody should have to post it out there. And so because we're not, like, I can look at my page and say, this season of my life I was going through XYZ. But I know. But what I posted that day was totally different. It doesn't mean that I'm very thankful for my life and I am happy. But everybody does have challenges. And I think the important thing is not to compare ourselves to other people, to look at people, be inspired and learn, but to just know that people are going through stuff and show yourself grace as a woman. I think showing yourself grace, but really challenging yourself as well. That combination, that's how they put it, the collabo.
That's like you're no more Agba. Stay too long with your parents. Wisdom of age.
Thank you.
So I had to ask you, but this your hair is natural.
Oh.
Wait, this is what God gave you, right? Or
yes, this is what Jesus
so
gave me.
Whenever I see people with hair, I just admire them. Where was I when you were sharing it? You look so beautiful.
Thank you.
So do you have a daughter who has your hair?
So the thing is that the girls have their dads.
Are you for real?
But I think maybe my son might have it, but he's not using it for anything. But it's all good. He's a fine man and they mostly look like him, so I'm grateful for that.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate
Thanks for having me. I had a really good time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.